Before watching this video on the parable of the prodigal son, it would be good to read the parable as Jesus tells it in Luke chapter 15. I'd like to suggest that you pause the video for a couple minutes and read Luke chapter 15, verses 11 to 32. Welcome back. There are three things to look for in the parables of Jesus: people, the way of salvation, and what does this have to do with me? Let's start with the key people in this parable. A father has two sons, one younger and free-spirited, the other older and very traditional in his ways. The younger son asks for his share of the family goods, so the father divides the inheritance between his sons. The younger son takes off with his share, lives it up, wastes everything, and becomes desperate. Meanwhile, the older son stays home, does what's expected of him, and looks every bit like the obedient son. In despair, the younger son comes to his senses, faces up to his behavior, rethinks his relationship with his father, and returns home a contrite man. The father receives his contrite son with open arms, celebrates his return, and blesses him. The older son finds out, and how does he respond? Anger, hatred, jealousy. The hidden person that's inside him all pours out. The father tries to reconcile his older son. It's a good lesson in human relations. We come to the way of salvation in this parable. Salvation is very much about reconciliation, starting with reconciliation to God. The father in this parable is like God. He's anxious to reconcile his children to himself and to each other if they will let him. The younger son learns what reconciliation takes. It starts with recognition of his desperate state. But when he came to himself, he said, "How many of my father's hired servants have bread enough and to spare, and I perish with hunger?" It continues with a decision to do something about it. I will arise and go to my father. There's confession of sin. I will say to him, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you, and I am no longer worthy to be called your son." There's humility and submission. Make me like one of your hired servants. And there is follow-through. He arose and came to his father. The response of heaven is instant. Love and compassion. But when he was still a great way off, his father saw him and had compassion, and ran and fell on his neck and kissed him. And joy. This my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found, and they began to be merry. So what does this have to do with me? I don't know about you, but I can see myself reflected in both sons. I can want pleasure like the younger son. Whatever makes me happy, right now, go for it. I can also feel like the older son. I never did anything bad. I don't rob banks. But inside, I might wish I could live it up, and even hate my brother. I can have all kinds of nasty. We're human, and we've all got baggage. The parable of the prodigal son lets us know that we can let this go and have peace with God.